So over here, refresh the page. First try. I don't think I've ever done that on my first try before. Hey guys, what's up? It's Jamie. In this video, we're going to be looking at how to authenticate the user with Angular Fire 2. So we're going to have an app where the user needs to be authenticated first, and then how to switch what the app displays depending on if they're logged in or not. So once they log in, then they can see our app. And so that's what we're going to be doing in this video, so let's dive into it. So first I'm going to generate a new project, ng space new space auth. Oh, and if you haven't seen my video on Angular basics, be sure to check that out. That explains like all the initialization stuff you need to do before you can generate a project like I just did. Alright, so that's all done. Now I'm going to open up this project. Alright, so we have our project now, and I'm just going to serve it. So I'm going to run ng serve so we can see what it looks like. Alright, so here we are. I'm going to press Command-Alt-I on the Mac or Control-Alt-I on Windows or Linux to open up this sidebar. And then now we see our basic app is working. Alright, we don't really need any of this stuff. I'm basically just going to make this app really simple. So basically there's going to be a div for when you're logged in and then a div for when you're not logged in. So this first div is going to be ng-if AfAuth is logged in, and then there's going to be another one which is the opposite of that. And we don't have this variable yet. We're going to get that in a second. I just want to show you like the basics of what this app is going to do. So we're just going to have an h1 for now, which says logged in, and then it says logged out if you're logged out. Okay, and now I'm going to install some dependencies. So we need to install Angular Auth to basically handle like all the authentication and stuff like that. And this is going to be our module for Firebase, and so I'm just going to scroll down here to how they say to install it. Grab that, stop the server using Control-C, paste that in. Okay, and I'm also going to use Firebase UI for Angular, and so I'm just going to go down here and follow the instructions on this site as well. Right, so install Firebase UI-Angular. Okay, and we also need to install all its dependencies like this. So let's install those. Okay, now I'm just going to copy their imports into my module file. So I'm going to go in module file, import all of these things. Firebase UI module, Firebase UI, and then I'm going to go down here in their imports section, and then I'm just going to adjust mine to be the same. Alright, and you can see here that when they're initializing the Angular Fire module, they're also using the environment's Firebase config. Well, ours doesn't have one yet, and so we need to go down here to environments, and then environment.ts, and in here we need to add our own variable for Firebase config. Okay, so that's going to go right here. Okay, and of course we're going to need to go and set that up in Firebase. And so I'm just going to set up a new project here. I'm going to call it Auth. Alright, and I'm going to accept the terms and then press create project. Alright, so now our new project is created, and so the first thing I need to do is just to click on this web icon and grab this inner part of the config. That's the thing that goes inside of our environment. So now this is pointing to our own project, so in the module it knows which Firebase config we're referring to, and that's the one for the auth project we just set up. Also for the environment, I'm going to copy this for production as well. You can have these point to different projects, like one for production, like where real users are, and one for testing. But for now I'm just going to make them both the same. Alright, I'm also going to go back to Firebase and click on Authentication and click Setup Sign Method, and I'm just going to enable email and password. That's all you really need to do. That's a pretty basic authentication method. Alright, and then we also need to import the CSS so that basically our login UI looks nice and shiny. So I'm going to go inside of the style.scss and then import this file from Firebase UI dist Firebase UI.css. So hopefully that works. We'll see later if it's able to find that file, but that's just what they said to do. Okay, and then also it says that we can use this Firebase UI where we need the UI to show up, and so in that case for us that's when we're logged out we show the Firebase UI. So we'll just place that in there in our HTML file. Okay, and then there's one more thing that we didn't resolve, that's this Firebase UI auth config. And so I think that was just up here. Basically you declare this variable for how you want your authentication to work, like what you want to display in the UI and so forth. And so I'm just gonna basically delete everything except for the email provider. I'm just gonna do this right here. I'm gonna just require email and password, and that's it. They don't even have to give a display name, which normally asks for like their first and last name. You could put your terms of service URL right here. I'm just going to comment that out as well as that. And I don't really want a credential helper, so I'm just going to put none right there. Yeah, so this is the basics that I like to do. It just makes it really easy to sign up. Just kind of basic, vanilla. It's fine. Alright, with that, I'm going to run ngserve once again. And then while it's serving up inside of the app component.ts, I'm going to make a constructor and inject the AfAuth module. So private AfAuth Angular Fire Auth, and so oh, it's actually public. But what this is going to do is make the HTML we wrote earlier for AfAuth.isLoggedIn and isLoggedOut. That was just kind of placeholder. How you really do it is you do .auth.current user. So basically, if current user exists, you know you're logged in, and if it doesn't, then you know you're logged out. So let's try that for now. Let's see if we have any errors. So over here, refresh the page. First try. I don't think I've ever done that on my first try before. Okay, so now I can just enter in my email or something like that. So I'll do jamie.bot.mail@gmail.com. Then I'll make a password and then press enter. And now we are logged in. So that's a very clean, minimal way to do authentication with Firebase using Angular Fire 2 inside of Angular. Hopefully that was helpful to you guys. This is such a fundamental video, you guys, that make sure you understand this before you look at my other videos in the future that will use this. Like I'm going to be making a video on sending emails with Namecheap and Firebase, and that will require you to be logged in. So yeah, look out for videos like that in the future. I'm excited to bring those to you guys. Thanks so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you're new here, and I'll see you guys in the next video.